Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Where we left off last time, we had just headed back to the Defender's Heart after dealing with the Tower of Estrad. We have a few people to talk to here actually, for some quest related stuff. Mostly group members, also the Storyteller. It's going to be a fairly lore heavy video honestly. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognize your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble token humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Earbeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Knabris that the local wardstone has been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Knabris did I sense a flaw. A spot of corruption inside, a vulnerability the demons will surely use. They're able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it'll be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Who are you, and why did they let you examine the wardstone? The elf smiles faintly. I am the Storyteller, just an old elf, and a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I've seen many things that have been to many places. Not so long ago I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands. That was in Pathfinder Kingmaker, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation, as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of others' squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I've had a few friends in Neurosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstone was granted. I visited all of them, but I only found cause for alarm in Knabris. Do you wield some magical power, some instinct? The Storyteller chuckles. Yes, to a certain extent, but it's more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object, and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to me. Their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day I will gather them all. What blade is concealed within the wardstones? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created, and it's hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Menago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers, and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iyamide herself? The locals think it's impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders have brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Balor Koramzadeh. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Daskari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Knabris. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now, it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound. Why did you travel to the wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The vision I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I've heard you, Storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the wardstone. As far as I know, there's nothing like it in Knabris, but the demons might have something. I've heard the dying roar of Trendlev, the Silver Demon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you go to where Trendlev perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of brightness tell me to point you there. I will present the purple stone knife. I found it in the square where Trendlev perished. What do you make of it? The Storyteller reaches out and says softly, even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we are dealing with. The Storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts in an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy.
Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair.
To my mother's feasting hall. I'm not going to do the whole voice the whole time. It actually hurts my throat a little bit. Her swollen body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all my eyes at once. On top of her is a scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings. A symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters. The bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off, along with the shreds of meat. Victory. I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Did this knife belong to a demon? The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench, the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with a knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light. White light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knee as he's trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. Oh, what was that? That was not the past. That was something that's yet to come, or rather might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you cleanse the wardstone, or to destroy it. You feel a longing in the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. Hard to resist this feeling, but in the last moment, your self-preservation instinct takes over, and you manage to keep control of it your own hands. Oh, you feel a longing to do that. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me, but how? I'm not an oracle or prophet. Is this another riddle from the past that has caught up to me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen, I don't know why this is happening now, but there's one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought to me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us. Something we don't understand yet. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you? And why are our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something. But what? Questions without answers. I swear this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you powers of divination. The knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but it manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future's not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Eredin guarded Golarion. But not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it, but the choice has not been made and our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt what I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but something has just happened. It disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. I am going to end here for just a few minutes. When I come back, we'll be continuing the video, but I have to go do something. Alrighty, welcome back. I'm going to get the storyteller to examine some of the items we are carrying. I've already done a couple of them by accident, but then I had to restart the video because of recording problems, as is tradition. The storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them and I'll tell you what I can see. We will present radiance. What do you see in its past? The storyteller touches the blade with his finger. Sadness rings in his voice. Dresden is doomed. Demons attacked right when we lost the protection of the Sword of Valor. My city, my bastion of hope. We built you as a symbol that the lands mutilated by the Abyss could still be restored to mortals. Now you are perishing and there's nothing I can do. We retreat, no, we flee. A frightened crowd rushes out into the night through the southern gate. They are chased by the angry howls of demons killing the last defenders of the citadel. My heart goes out to them, but I'm standing still on the wall. I'm covering the retreat. Demons do not attack, they seethe around you, fall from the sky, strike from all sides at once. They can't be stopped, but they can be distracted. I run to the upper floor of the gate tower. Radiance glows with a golden light in my hands. I permit myself to close my eyes for just one heartbeat. I imagine that the soft glimmering of the sword I see through my closed eyelids is the light of the summer sun. I smile. I open my eyes and call out, "Hey, Discari spawn. Who wants the best trophy of the night? You know my name, Yaniel. You know how many of you I've killed with this very hand. You want to curry favor with Derazand, Minago, or the echo of your lord? Bring them my head, if you can." Roaring and screaming, they rush towards me in a wave of deformed bodies and unfurled wings. The wave crashes against me, spattering my armor with a bloody froth. Broken wings and chopped up bodies plummet to the foot of the tower. In the heat of battle, I see Joran's Bale face down there. He looks up at me in desperation, but he can't help. He's carrying 2 wounded on his shoulders. My city will fall, but my friends will survive. This is what I'm fighting for. I am covering the retreat. The flow of fleeing people gradually dwindles. My armor is broken in many places. I cannot heal my wounds anymore. The last demon I stabbed with radiance suddenly recoils, tearing the handle out of my blood-slickened hand. He flies up, but falls somewhere very far behind the walls, by the road being taken by those fleeing. No more golden glow in my hands. The night closes in on me, filled with shrieking, mocking demon laughter. Dresden, I'm dying with you. Light of the sword, righteous Diamade, accept my soul. The storyteller runs his hand along the blade with a sad smile. I know whose memory this is. I've heard about her so many times. Yaniel was a true crusader. Touching her memories is so cleansing. Thanks for the story. We're not going to do all of these stories. We actually have something I need to do in this video. I realized it later on, but we never actually talked to Anevia. And Anevia is important for one specific thing. Anevia, her muted... Well, I mean, she's probably more important than one specific thing, but in this particular case, it's this one specific thing. Anevia in her muted colors blends almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums her fingers on her hip near her weapon sheath. She shows no sign of her injuries, and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to have just noticed you, even though she had watched you approach from afar. Oh, hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, or dance a jig if I feel like it. Are there any suspicious places in the city I should pay attention to? There were a couple spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have time. There really is a den of cultists there. It would be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You wouldn't even need to search. You wouldn't even need to search for it. She shoots you a crooked smile. The first one's the Silken thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric. But they always seem oh so busy. They're busy with something in there, alright, but sewing, it ain't. We're gonna head there first. Second one is the Alchemy shop Topaz Solutions, and they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down in that place. We're gonna go deal with those 2 side quests. I've decided that we're not gonna read every single conversation. I'm gonna do some of them just between videos. There is an immense amount of lore in this game, and it would be
let us be off.
Probably a few hundred videos long to try and narrate all of the, like literally all of the lore in the game. It's too much for one person to narrate it all. I've switched up our group a little bit. We are not going to be bringing Woljif with us. We're also not going to be bringing... we'll bring him. We're going to be bringing Nenio. I'm going to ponder Darren a little bit. He's such an important healer. He's so good at what he does. And we definitely need a good healer in our group, but he's not a good healer, technically. He's an evil healer, but he is a very capable healer. The primary one, we want to go to this one. We'll do Topaz Solutions first, then we'll switch back to Silken Thread Atelier and deal with that. The reason this is important, and if you miss this the first time you come through Tenebris, you don't have to get it done. It's for a quest, though, for Nenio later on.
For debates.
Oh, this is not a good formation for us. Let's just run this way. There we go. This is fine. Oh, and there's another thing I wanted to show you guys really quickly. There is... How did we get hit? We have such a high armor class. Oh, well, whatever. It's fine. Doesn't matter. There are some items, depending on when you bought the game and what rewards you get, that you can grab from your box inside of the Defender's Heart. For example, I have this red dragon helmet, which gives me fire resistance 10, and I can do a breath attack. I also picked up these goggles, which are +2 bonus damage against swarms. I grabbed these gloves, which is just +1 morale bonus on attack rolls. They're not that great. They're also +2 damage bonus while you're mounted, but no one in my group is mounted. Got this too. Bonus on saving throws against movement and parrying effects. So there's a whole bunch of random small items that you can get. They're not game-breaking, but they're useful just to pick them up. Although our monk does look really dumb with a helmet, I have to say. Nothing good there. Let's grab the composite longbow, and we're gonna leave. We have 40,000 gold, which is a pretty decent amount of gold. We need more. Well, this group doesn't need necessarily much more. We are abysmally failing our spell checks, though. Whoa, hang on. Lan just did 52 damage on his sneak attack. 1d8 plus 10 times 3 for 44 piercing damage. Holy crap. And then also a 2d6 sneak attack damage. That was a massive hit.
March on.
I just saw that number pop up and I was like, wait, what? It's not the biggest I've seen. Technically, I think our evil group, or at least our evil magus, will be able to hit much higher numbers later on, but it's still pretty impressive for level 5? Yeah, level 5. So this little area is fun. It can be annoying. There's obviously a thing to loot here. That's perfectly fine. If we go into this room over here, and
did we find trouble?
You'll notice that there's a combat. And what is it? It's mimics. Also, the fact that we got stuck in the doorway is actually really bad and we died, so we're gonna quickly reload that. Doorways are the bane of our existence by a lot. So we're gonna redo that. Also, why is there?
Open your heart
oh god. Okay, we gotta be careful how we run around in this place. But like, why is her armor so low? What's wrong with her armor? Dexterity bonus? She's not getting her wisdom bonus, is she? Is she technically wearing armor? Does this helmet count as armor? Nope. Definitely doesn't. She's not wearing anything on her armor. Does she have defensive fighting on? Yes. Something's not right here. Maybe that +4 is... Okay, maybe it's right. I don't know. Let's get into the room this time with everyone.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
You crossed the wrong mark.
Oh god, no. Don't do that.
Did you see that?
One of them's dead. That kind of sucked. Alright, we may have need to use some spells. Or just do this a slightly different way. We might have to do that main room first. Because I think that fighting both him and the mimics in there is kind of not doing us any sort of favors.
You can trust me.
Unless we can just kind of... Okay, what do we have for spells currently? I need to organize my spells. We do have haste. So what I think we're gonna do is buff up a bit.
My own.
I will help where I can.
Trust in yourself.
Do that.
We will win
Grab.
this war.
War must end.
Where's Bless?
Well,
Who's
A
got
bright
Bless?
future.
What's on your
Somebody
mind?
has Bless, right?
I
Yeah.
wonder.
Use that. Use that.
Favorite aid.
Use this. No more dying. Alright. Let's save. She's now up to 32 armor, so a little bit better.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
He's going straight after that guy.
I'll cut you wide open.
And we're gonna just sneak around like this. Perfect. This is gonna be just fine.
This obstacle.
Almost all my group is ranged. So let's just kill the champion first. Her tanking is just fine.
This is not my time.
I think we killed them, so that's good. Now we just have to kill these mimics, and then there's also the other mimics we have to kill as well, but it shouldn't be a big deal. So those mimics are now officially dead. We can loot their bodies. We get the light crossbow of Oracle's Misery. It's going to go on Ember, I think. And we're going to set this to shoot acid, actually, I think. And we're going to do a quick heal.
I stand with you.
Together we stand.
You're a good person. I like
Okay, then we have those couple other mimics to kill. And we have to take this loot, which is a book, I believe. And a fish on a stick recipe, very important.
Let's move.
We do still have
This
our
is
buffs,
my
so we're gonna send her in. How are you stuck on the door?
Adventures await.
Okay, anyways, let's send her in.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
One dead. This is much easier without the guy killing us, and also with buffs. Like, the difference between her unbuffed armor class and her buffed armor class is pretty
Too
substantial.
late for apologies.
Massively different, actually. So, let's quickly grab all that food. And we are done at this little location. So that's number one we have to deal with. And if you, again, missed this initially, you'll be able to return to Canabris. I think it's in chapter 3 or something like that. Someone mentioned it to me. So in that event, it'll be fine. This next place isn't as intensive. Kind of, there's a fight up front, but it's not as bad. I think there's actually maybe a fight inside as well. We'll figure that out. So once we arrive there, we failed to sneak past another fight because apparently we are just hot garbage at sneaking. And like these bugs are just not that good. I don't know why we keep running into them. I mean, they're just bugs, so. Eventually we need to raise our animal companions' intelligence up so we can get some other feats. That's what that little hint was, and that is fairly accurate. We need to deal with that situation in the future.
What's that?
There's a trap. So
I'll
we're
watch
gonna
your
grab Camellia. We are going to
They will
stealth
not
her.
expect my strength.
Rely on me.
Switch her out. Like, I don't think we're in range of the enemies. They're just up here, but just to make sure, I think we're fine.
I hope you
There's
follow
definitely a
me.
trap there, though, and
We
we're going to
should
do
move.
a little bit of buffing.
No
Not
reason
nearly
to
as much as
pause.
last time,
I hear the voice of
because
spirits.
unfortunately
in
we're out
trouble
of some
yet?
of our
But it's
stuff.
restless. I wonder why.
that.
Anything new?
That.
I tire of waiting.
And with our bark skin, should be fine now. Only 25 armor. It's going to be good. Oh, wait, because mage
They will
armor
break
and
against our resolve.
wizard we need to kill. You. Shoot the
I'll
wizard.
hit you.
That was the worst. Oh well. That acid splash did not go anywhere remotely close to its target. That's slightly better. Okay. Good enough. And grab that. Don't think there's anything else of value to grab, so.
I found something.
We have found the thing we looked for, which was a trap. And there's a stranger over there.
Are
Let's
you ready to move out?
use Nenio to go talk to him. He's gonna say, I'm the answer. But what is the
Trust in
question?
yourself. Well,
Very enigmatic. Very
I am
obtuse.
helpful, am I not?
Onwards.
Just gonna quickly check back here for loot. I don't think there's much, but you never know. There's a couple things to grab, like an old map of Avestan and some coal, because that is very important. We're gonna head downstairs. There are definitely some barbarians down here. Also, we are very
make
tall.
mine.
It's gonna make this a little bit more annoying. There's Curval of the Sparking Fist. He is a kineticist, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's the last person alive, too.
So this is how it feels.
Oh, Camellia took a hit, but she's fine. We successfully killed him. We can get a unbending armor, which is a +1 studded leather that gives DR3 piercing and also has a -1 armor check penalty. It's okay, I guess. Lesser kinetic diadem is nice. We don't have anyone that uses them.
Let us be off.
And we're gonna loot the stuff we need for summoning. And yeah. So they were summoning something in here. Demons perhaps, or something worse or better, depending. I don't know. We know that there was a previous summoning circle a lot like that in one of the other zones we visited that summoned a Vrock, so it could be something like that. Anyways, we're leaving, and that's pretty much where we're also going to be ending the video. I'm gonna go back and talk to people. I will maybe just give a Cole's Notes version of what, oh damn it, of what is said during the conversations, unless there's something really important. I'll say it before
move.
You saved
talking
the
to every
last one
person.
for me.
If there's something really important to the story, I will, of course, read it out for you guys. But if it's just sort of generic information that's not very important, I'm not going to bother. Just because it's going to be, it's so much. It takes so much time. So, yeah. That's the way we're just going to run this, I think. Let us head up to the Defender's Heart, and we're going to end the video here. For now, like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. We will be resting. I'll give you a brief rundown on what was said by some of the people in the tavern, and then we'll head to the Grey Garrison, which is the next big thing on our list. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.